Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back at Spa Endurance, this time the Ferrari 296 GT3 edition for another track guide. This is using the fixed setup and brake bias is shown on the dashboard. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and let's start the hot lap. Right then, let's go. So coming down the opening straight, we're looking for the 100 meters on the left hand side and we're going to brake up to about 80%. I'm going to trail it off down to the wall, back on the gas. I'm going to be gentle with getting the power on there. Might be a little bit wiggly on the way out. So this is on warm tyres, you can see. And there was roughly 30 litres of fuel in at this time. So I know this is in both the fixed series and the open, so that's why I use the fixed setup. But I do drop the literage, usually about 10 to 15 litres, so that I can sort of equate with running either endurance or some of the sprint open. Alright, at the curving here, we brake up to about 70%, long trail off, leaving it in second gear here, smoothly back on the power, back over to the right hand side, up to third gear, little dab on the brakes, back on the gas. Oh no, I kept it in second. Second gear in the Ferrari for me. Right, at the 100, we go through that, and then on the brakes, down to fourth gear, smoothly back on again. Back over to the left-hand side, looking for the 100 again on the left, and we go through that. Braking up to about 75%, down to third gear. Little lift. Now back on the gas again. Back over to the left-hand side. On the brakes up to about 55%, cutting that corner. Now we're flat out here, all the way through to the bus stop chicane. Careful going through there, even with warm tyres. I'm looking for this white line across the road. Here we go, we hit that. A little heartbeat, and then we brake hard, down to first, little gas, little dab on the brakes, and then back on the gas again. And over and across the line for a 216.175. Right, let's do the breakdown. As always, we'll charge through this. Alright, first braking markers, this 100 coming up on the left-hand side, as you can see. We brake there up to about 75-80%. Wipe all that speed off, trail it off down into the apex, get nice and tight to that wall without hitting it. Once we're alongside it, that's when we're back up to sort of 50%, and now we go up on the gas as we open that steering wheel. Now we're going to go flat here through Eau Rouge, just to show you this is where my positioning is. I couldn't decide if 5th or 6th was better along here, so I went with 6 in the end. It's going to be the 100 meter board again on the left hand side is where we're going to start braking. And again, up to about 75%, trying to avoid the ABS as best as possible in this car. Trailing it off down to third gear, making sure you're taking a ton of curb, back on the gas, and then just a lift to get through the second apex. Back on the gas again, we want to be all the way over to the left-hand side, just so that when we do this full lift, we can actually turn in, again cutting the corner and getting back on the gas. Using the curbing on exit. Next one, we're going to use, our braking marker is this red and yellow curbing on the left-hand side. When we get to that, we're braking again up to about 70%, and then a long trail off. So initially sharp, and then a long trail off, still in second gear, and then slowly building back up on the gas. Back over to the right-hand side. Once we get on here, that's when we do a little dab on the brakes, only up to about 30%. Trail that off, I've left it in second gear, and now I've got all that extra torque when I get on the gas hit. Exiting nice and wide, don't end up in the sandpit. So we're going to go through the 100 here, and it's going to be more where sort of the 75 would be, where we brake. Almost at the 50, actually. Wow. And we brake up to about 50%, and then trail that off, drop it down to 4th, and then we start building back up on the gas, nice and early doors. And it's a gradual pressure increase, as you can see. Back over to the left-hand side, and again, it's going to be midway between the 100 and the 50. Actually, just before the 50 here, we're braking up to about 75%. Trailing it off down to the apex. Oh, I had a little bit of a slide there. In 3rd gear. Getting back up to 100%, and now we're just going to do just a lift. And then back on the gas again. Back over to the left-hand side. A braking marker is going to be just before we hit the curbing here on the left. Braking again up to about 55%. Trailing it off down to the apex. Again, cutting the corner. Really jumping it. And back on to full power. This next bit's straightforward because we're just going flat. Just got to hope that the car does grip up. So just be aware, even with warm tyres, this next part of the corner you've got to take smoothly. If you try and put too much steering input in, at this point you are right at the limit, even with only a few degrees of turning on at this speed. So easy to lose the rear. You can exit nice and wide. Any further over to the right, it is an off track though. We're looking for this white line on the road here. So as we go through that, we're then going to wait just again a touch, and then we're braking up to about 80%. Hold it, hold it, hold it. This is avoiding us going into the ABS. Again, I'm able to do that because I set a vibration function on my mBooster pedal. You may not have that ability, but if you want to buy one, there is a link on my description. Little dab on power on 1st gear, then a little dab on the brakes, and then we're just building the power back up again on exit, getting up to 100%, and then running through the gears to start another lap. There is no driving line version because this is primarily B-class. Let me know if you have any questions. I've been Sambo iRacing. I'll see you guys. Cheers.